After wrapping up a smooth testing of a previous car (TPC) session at Fiorano last week, Ferrari set its sights on a 3-day run at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya with the 2023 SF23. However, unlike Fiorano, things haven't gone quite as planned in Spain. With new TPC regulations limiting race drivers to just 1,000 kilometers across a maximum of 4 days, Ferrari's carefully mapped out schedule hit a roadblock on Wednesday. Literally. Lewis Hamilton crashed the SF23, cutting short his and Charles Leclerc's planned running. According to Italian outlet Auto Racer, the crash was probably triggered by a bump in the third sector, causing severe damage to the car. Fortunately, Hamilton walked away unscathed, but the incident forced Ferrari to rethink its strategy for the final day of testing. Originally, Ferrari had planned for junior driver Dino Beganovic and sports car ace, and ex-F1 driver, Antonio Giovinazzi, to take over for the full day. But with Leclerc losing valuable laps due to Hamilton's crash, the team is expected to tweak its program to allow the Monegasque driver to reclaim some lost mileage. With his Barcelona test now behind him, Hamilton will be back in action on February 4th and 5th for a Pirelli tyre test. He and Leclerc will take the wheel of a modified SF24 mule car designed to test Pirelli's 2026 tyre constructions. McLaren will also be on track for this crucial development test, which is set to take place at the same circuit. In an ironic twist, Hamilton's first Ferrari crash comes early in his tenure, but it's far from his first testing shunt with a new team. The 7-time world champion previously crashed his McLaren during a 2007 test in Valencia, and again in 2013 when he was getting to grips with Mercedes in Jerez. Despite the setback, the TPC program has been invaluable for Hamilton, allowing him to get accustomed to Ferrari's recent machinery and integrate with the team's trackside operations before he steps into the brand new car later in February. However, with TPC running becoming more frequent in recent years, the FIA has tightened regulations to ensure these sessions primarily benefit junior drivers. As a result, race drivers are now limited to just 4 days and 1,000 kilometers of running. While Ferrari will need to adjust its plans in light of the crash, all teams still have up to 20 days of TPC testing available, an opportunity that remains wide open for young talents looking to make their mark. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc already know the name of their 2025 F1 challenger. Ferrari has officially christened it the SF25. Whether the name sparked much debate within the team remains unknown, but its logic is clear, a straightforward nod to the 2025 season. Ferrari confirmed the name on social media, though fans will have to wait a little longer to see the car itself. The eagerly anticipated SF25 livery will be unveiled on the 18th of February in London, during a special presentation featuring all 2025 F1 cars. The following day, Hamilton and Leclerc will take the SF25 for its first laps in a shakedown, offering a glimpse of what's to come. The real test, however, begins in Bahrain at the end of February, where the SF25 will see extended running during official pre-season testing. With Hamilton stepping into his first Ferrari F1 car and Leclerc eager to fight at the front, all eyes will be on Maranello to see if the SF25 can be the machine to bring them back to championship glory. Former Ferrari Formula One engineer Rob Smedley believes Charles Leclerc is on the path to becoming the real deal, especially with Lewis Hamilton, as his new 2025 teammate. Smedley suggests that Leclerc has a unique opportunity to learn from the 7-time world champion, drawing parallels to Michael Schumacher and Felipe Massa's dynamic at Ferrari in 2006. If Leclerc can absorb Hamilton's experience and racecraft, Smedley believes it could elevate him to an entirely new level in his career. With the highly anticipated Ferrari partnership on the horizon, all eyes will be on how Leclerc adapts and whether he can turn this mentorship into a defining chapter of his F1 journey. It's a completely different situation, but it's like Felipe Massa in 2006 against Michael Schumacher, Smedley told the Formula for Success podcast. He was the apprentice, and it was all right that he got beat by Michael, and then by the end of the year he was actually beating him on merit in qualifying. He did beat him in some races fortuitously. I think we've got a similar situation with Charles, and if Charles is not the one that gets away by making too many mistakes and wasting his potential, then it's just a win-win situation. You've got this 7-time world champion, a guy who can learn off him, eventually become the real deal himself. By this point, Lewis is ready to retire and exit stage left, and now you've got this fully formed world champion who's going to be a winning machine. At the penultimate round of the 2024 F1 season in Qatar, Lewis Hamilton made a striking admission, stating he is not fast anymore after another frustrating race weekend. While some may have dismissed it as a heat-of-the-moment comment, Rob Smedley believes there could be some truth to it. The former Ferrari engineer agrees that Hamilton might secure more race wins in 2025 thanks to his racecraft and experience, but sees Charles Leclerc as the outright faster driver. According to Smedley, as Hamilton inevitably slows down, Leclerc's raw speed could give him the edge within the team. I think there's another point in that chronological trajectory as well, and please don't hate me for saying it because it's just physiological. And it's that Lewis starts to slow down a little bit, he said. When that is, we don't know. It's definitely not in the next year or two, because if you look at how psychologically strong he is, how motivated he is, how physically fit the guy is, look how he takes care of himself, that's not coming anytime soon. But isn't this a win-win situation for Ferrari as well? They've got this 7-time world champion coming in. He's going to boost Charles because Charles is in a situation where, I don't want to call him the young apprentice, he'll feel a very different dynamic and a very different relationship to what he felt with Carlos Sainz, for example, where they were two peers both at very similar stages of their career and both needing to beat each other. Charles has got a bit of slack here. He's up against a 7-time world champion. Felipe Massa, the man who famously lost the 2008 F1 title to Lewis Hamilton on the final lap of the Brazilian Grand Prix, has weighed in on Hamilton's high-profile move to Ferrari, and he's not convinced. Massa has openly criticised Ferrari's decision to bring in the 7-time world champion, arguing that Hamilton's age will be a problem. The former Ferrari driver believes the team should have prioritised a younger long-term option instead of reshuffling its lineup. Massa's comments add to the growing debate over whether the British driver can still deliver at the highest level, or if Ferrari has taken a gamble on past glory rather than future potential. If you ask me if I would hire Hamilton as the head of Ferrari, as a driver, yes, I would, without a doubt, he told Brazilian outlet Estadão. Because of the talent he has, he is one of the most incredible drivers in F1. But because of his age, maybe not. If you look at the sport, age matters. And we have to understand how much age is weighing on him in this situation or not. I'm talking about myself. These days I need to train much more physically than I used to. It's much harder to recover physically after a difficult race or an intense training session. Age takes its toll in some areas. That's normal. Age is something that has weighed negatively on several drivers, as it did for Schumacher. So is this incident a sign of what's to come for Lewis and Ferrari? Let me know your thoughts down below. That's all for today, so thanks for watching.